Hey, hello everybody, welcome, hi. It's pretty bright here, man. Yeah, welcome to David's Kitchen. I gotta get the light down here. Yeah, I had to put the sunglasses on here, folks. Thank you very much. I am, of course, David Sponheim, the American original. There I am. Yes, we are getting into our show. We've got iVlog, I'm not monitoring, but I am monitoring Vaughn and Periscope. Thank you. You guys can catch us at third party if you're trying to get in. Yeah, today is going to be I really don't like the criticism of the song. Thank you. Yeah, I did that with Magix.com. They have some software. I cut my own audio intro there. Hey, today's going to be pepper pork grits, 5 for $4. Welcome to the biggest show on earth. I am David Sponheim, and we are up and running. Let me bring my camera in, put it forward. As you can see, we've got some pretty nice organic zucchini here. I picked this up at Trader Joe's when I went in there with the mask on. And it was pretty effective. I got in there only $3.49 for four of these. So I'm going to go with 75 cents for one of these cukes. Okay. So we're going to put one of these in here. I managed to find peppers for 50 cents a piece, so I got about 75 cents worth of pepper there, $1.50. And we're using a 1/4. That's how much I spend for onions, 1/4, and a little apple. So that's $2 right there, and then the meat I picked up for about $6. I got 3 slabs like that. So we're looking at $2 for the meat. So $2 for the meat, $2 for the vegetables. I'm going to say 25 cents for, and I better add grits. So let's change it to $5. Okay. Now, if you want to put rice in, you can, but I've got grits from the other day. If you want to get those pre-made rice packages, they're about $1.50. But yeah, I'm going to go with grits. And what I normally do when I cook, I actually have extra juice from the dinners. And what I'll do is I'll keep creating grits out of them, because I've got these grits from 1998 that I'm still eating. I'm serious. Yeah. And they're non-GMO, so you got to check to make sure, because a lot of the grits today are genetically modified. They didn't have genetically modified grits at that time, 1998, so I'm still using them out of my Y2K supply. So, welcome. I'm not in the mood for cooking when the nation's burning. I can't tell you how many people are asking me to do the show, though, to take their mind off of how the world is screwed up. But it's only screwed up because they want it to be. Our government's allowing this anarchy. There are no such things as non-GMO popcorn, Tom. That's what I've been told. I heard they can't even get the GMO corn to pop. Seriously. But maybe they changed. Maybe they got newer things going on. What do you have? Could be worse. You had your primaries this week, Tom? Oh, good. You wrote me in? Thank you. No, my name is not Denny. But thanks anyway. Daily new cases? Yeah. Well, only because they keep adding people that are dying from 5G radiation to the numbers. Yeah, those numbers are going up because of the 5G radiation. Turns out that the numbers of people dying of COVID spiked in 2 cities in the South. One was Dallas, the other was Phoenix. Guess what? Yeah, Dallas and Phoenix just had 5G go active 2-3 weeks ago on the Verizon network. Yeah. Now, I don't have a brother by the name of Danny, so you're going to have to knock that out of the show right now. This will be a mutable offense. Any more use of the word that in the show will be a mutable offense. And same with you. Any references to claiming he's my brother, that's just a lie. He's impersonating somebody related to me who's not even named Denny. No, I don't think LBJ started it with the Great Society. We just never shrunk the problem and monitored the problem. You see, when the New Deal was created, they just simply created programs and didn't really realize how to trim those programs and keep them in check. So we really have like a multi-headed hydra of a government, bureaucracy running in all different directions. We need a brand new way of dealing with it. And forensic auditors can do that. And we can put a really good task force together to get a zero deficit for 2021. I'm confident we'll be there. But the Democrats, Republicans are going to have to stop this reckless spending. It is crazy. Hey, let's open that onion. You know, we've got some nice Vidalia onions I picked up organic at Costco, of course, with my mask on. And now everyone has to wear their mask, I guess, on Friday. I'm going to go ahead and crack this open, get this pan going. Okay, the pan in the back right here, as you can see, that's going to be at level 3. There you go. Yeah, see these grits, I actually make these during the week, and they've got juice from the dinner and everything in them, so it's a great way to use leftovers. If you happen to have some juice at the bottom of a chicken dish or a beef dish, just leave that juice in there and make some grits with it and store the grits. And when the next dinner comes along, put some of that juice from the other dinner on that grit. The grits will pop out. They'll keep growing in the refrigerator. That's the unique thing about grits. They keep getting bigger. All right. Today we're going to use an apple because it's kind of an interesting twist, and we're going to use rosemary. Rosemary is a very good ingredient with pork. And just like a couple weeks ago we did the carnitas, I'm going to take the same type of pork and fillet it with the really good knife. But first comes the onion. Go ahead and make a cut in the side. Sometimes if you hit the corner, you get it in there, and I just take my hand and go like that with a cleaver. Always keep an eye on the knife because knives are dangerous. And just take a little crunch at the corner of the bottom of the onion. See that, how I do that? And it just peels right off. Almost in one fell swoop. Oh, I found some bad stuff on there. That's, you know, these, I knew I had to eat these, so I'm going to cut that right off, making sure there's no discoloration in the onion itself. I'll probably have it on the other side too. Let's see if we get lucky. Okay. Yeah, I kind of caught that onion right at the point where it was going to go. Okay, good. Just a little bit there on that side. Okay. I'm going to rinse those onions off. Even though they are organic, I'm going to make sure they're clean. And when you put water on vegetables, it helps steam fry them. Okay. Now we might as well use this knife here on the onions to make a nice slice cut. I'm going to use a little olive oil, my usual couple splashes, a couple tablespoons. Just enough to cover the bottom of the pan. And that level is pretty much a low setting. All right. Yeah, I think they're gonna have to develop some face scratchers for people, you know, like scratch your face hygienically. Let me see if I can use this now. There we go. There we go. Okay. See? Why make something that's already made, right? Okay. Oh, now I have to wash my hands again. This is getting confusing. Gee, Dave, it's super hot here in July. You're in July already? Wow. In jolly old England. Yeah, well, Prince Andrew, I must tell you, I work at making my swim spa better and better. As you know, I recently upgraded and I'm still in the process of making the perfect heat sink for my swim spa. You could, if you had a wooden spoon, you could do that, yeah. Will white people ever be cool and respected like we were in the 80s? Yeah, we are cool right now. I never stopped respecting myself. What are you talking about? Well, we did do a swim spa thing, a hot tub, fiscal hot tub we have. If you YouTube fiscal hot tub, you'll see my hot tub. Just YouTube the words fiscal hot tub. All right. We're going to get that pan kind of warm when we hit the onions with it. Let's go ahead and make a nice slice down the middle here. Always watching the knife because this knife is sharp. This is Damascus steel from Syria. 67 layers of pure steel. As it slices through the onions. There we go. A little bit of brown on the back side. We're not going to use that. Get that out of there. Always look at the knife. Never take your eyes off the knife when working with it. It takes exacting attention. Good for your concentration ability. We're going to throw that in the pan. Be preparing pan cam. Throwing in the pan now. All right. Now we're going to do the pork. I'm going to cover the pan, and today is going to be kind of a sweet rosemary flavor. So I'm going to throw some rosemary in there right now. I grew some rosemary in my yard, and I dried this recently, fresh from the garden. I'm going to take it my fingers like this, and I'm actually going to chop it really fine. Now, this is a very unique taste. This is going to have a very interesting pepper rosemary taste. All right, so that goes down with the all of that rosemary, about so much, like a half a teaspoon. Goes down on the onions, and you want to let that get in there and then turn it up, cover it and turn it up to level 6. Crank it. Crank it. Okay, Dave, what's going on, man? No, you cannot release a cookbook. No. I'm only allowing video. I'm urging people not to read. I want people to watch more video. Eric, remember we talked about your fixation with that? Yeah, well, you're going to have to stop talking about that, Eric. People starting to wonder. Thank you. Anderson Cooper, how are you? Steam fried that daddy. Is that why you wrote hybrid? Yeah, I'm actually keeping people in check. You know salaries are coming down, right? Not yours, of course. You're an Asta. You don't have a salary. You could have been assigned to the Edward Snowden job, but you chose to be a simple Vanderbilt, a working Vanderbilt, so to speak. Petey, what's going on, man? You got some links? Yeah, the coronavirus. Yeah, we saw that. Yep. Pretty good. That's not a bad one. I have a bit, just as good earlier, though. There's various versions of it. Thank you, PD. I know you worked hard on that in Photoshop. Your voice is like audio NyQuil. I love it. Well, as you know, those onions are heating up rather quickly with the rosemary because the rosemary is really stiff. It's hard. Yeah. It's real. It's raw. But the rosemary has to soften up and imbue its flavor into the onions. I'm going to throw make some really thin slices of pork right now. Okay, we're going to take the pork. We're going to cut any of the fat or sinew off of it. So you can see I want to do this on a special dish. You don't want to contaminate a breadboard with this. This is sinew, you don't really need that. But the meat itself is worthwhile. We're going to cut that into like thin slices, like so. The thinner the better, but we'll go with just about a 1/4 of an inch. Now this is lean loin. Highly recommend lean loin as opposed to the fatty pork chops with a bone. So we got some sinew over here. I'm going to go off with it like that and kind of pull it out away from the sinew, and that just stays on the side. If you want to, cook it up and feed it to your dogs, that's fine. Again, always look at the knife when cutting meat, especially because the meat looks just like your skin. You got to be careful, especially pork. Yes, I realize it's an animal. Okay, getting the final amount of sinew off of there. Okay. Okay, and then we got our sinew over here and our meat over here. Cool. I'm gonna rinse my hands off and grab a paper towel. I don't eat the pork skin, but you can do it. My mother we used to get a black spider skillet and cook it really hot. And we'd get all the pork rinds and cook it down to the pork rinds with the salt. Oh, of course she died of heart disease, so yeah, I don't recommend eating pork rinds. I know the Atkins diet was talked about it, but a lot of people I've talked to went on the Atkins diet, didn't do too well long term. No, it was not a 3-second, no. That was a good scrubbing. I did, no. And that's chlorinated water, and this is a chlorinated paper towel. Hello? Earth to brain dead idiot. Hi. I'm looking at you, buddy. Yeah. Okay, it's really hot now. You know what comes next. My massive supply of Patty LaBelle, Miss Patty's no salt seasoning. I'm going to throw that on there. Let's put it right on the pork. A full teaspoon. Yay. Okay, we're going to go and shuffle it right in there without the sinew. We're going to shake it up, go forward, move ahead. It's not too late to detect it. No, the Italian seasoning isn't really appropriate tonight. We're going with a different flavor. Not everything is Italian seasoning after all. Now the apple has to be peeled. So I will appeal to your greater tastes in peeling the apple. It's apple peeling time, everybody. Come on over to Dave's Kitchen's sink here. Yep. Okay, here we go. Again, you want to look at the apple when you're peeling it, otherwise you'll peel your finger off. And then you'll have a lot of red blood and you won't be able to eat it. So I hold the apple, kind of configure it away from there at all times, maintaining position within a 360-degree area. Utilizing the format of three-dimensional drawing, I'm able to calibrate my peeling position. Hey, do you know that I actually am going to be talking about technology today? We have a rogue chatbot in our room named Please Mr. David. Now, I at first thought Please Mr. David was a clone because he told me he was from Cameroon and blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, you're pinging from McLean, Virginia at the FBI headquarters. And I didn't even check his IP, somebody else did. Okay, I'm going to throw that pork in the compost heap. Believe it or not, it will compost. So it just takes a long time. Along with some onions and some peelings from the apple. Okay. That's it for the compost. Right. Hello. Okay, rinsing again, drying again. I only buy organic when I can. I'm modified organic. I actually tell people to buy whatever you can eat, you know? I mean, some people, don't care about what they eat it. If you have a lifetime of eating pesticides, a lifetime, it can add up. Okay, we got a hot burner. Let's start moving it around. Okay, push all the pork down on the hot burner. Nice. You want to make sure that pork is on there nice and tight, like laying on the burner. So you see how that nicely says, I'm just kind of pressing it in there. Okay, you got the caramelized onions going right there. Everything's kind of getting brown right now. Isn't that nice? Perfect. All right. Cover it up and turn it down to very low. Because you don't want it to cook too fast at that temperature. The idea is to brown it. Okay. Sarah gave me the apple cutter here, so let's do that. Okay. Okay, we'll throw those apples in there. Okay. All right. So I'm kind of like just letting that simmer right now. Tom, do you want to... That's very disrespectful, Tom. I'm going to mute you. Thank you. I said brown in the meat. I don't think it'd be unhealthy. If you don't put a little brown on the pork rind, you don't taste the pork flavoring. Thank you, Anderson, for asking a very white person question. You obviously never grew up around pork fries. I don't know. Tom was just being rude, crass. Hold on, please. Okay, as you can see, I've got a little extra green red pepper. I don't even know what to do with it. So I'm going to cut it up. Okay. Okay, right now I'm in the simmering stage, but I'm about ready to enter the steaming stage. I'm going to throw that one in there. And I'm going to do the other one. I'm going to do that pepper good. Really great pepper. 50 cents, if you can get these things for 50 cents, you're doing great. There we go. Survey said, pepper has been freed of its stem. Now we will cut it off, severing the pepper from the seed pod. You can use that for the garden. It'll actually regenerate. Believe it or not, that's how things work. Not everything just comes from the store, You might want to have a garden. It's not too late to whip it into shape. That's right, get straight. Go forward. Move ahead. Okay. Okay, again, we're going to just take this and make nice even chops with it. Okay, no muss, no fuss. Everybody gets in on the fun. Okay, let's do that again. Okay, now turn it up to level 3 again. Now we're going to get back on the horse, so to speak. Now I have not added any water to this dish, but I can add more of that Patti LaBelle seasoning. So bear in mind, I might do that. But I have a purifier here. a zero water purifier we use for our reverse osmosis water. We have some of the highest sediment collections in the country, actually. We have 500 parts per million in our tap water, which is huge. So what I have to do is reverse osmosis into the filter, the zero water filter, and then I triple filter it or double filter it. Oh, it's so good. Oh man. Oh. You know, and I think a lot of the sediment is alkaline, so the water is technically alkaline, but you know, sometimes I have to add alkaline. So I'm thinking of getting a fluoride filter, even though we don't put fluoride in our water in our community. I'm thinking of getting a Centivia makes this great tabletop version for $199. I'm thinking of getting that instead of the zero water. Just use zero water on the road, because if you take a trip, you got to take one of these filters with you. They're only like $19 at Walmart plus tax, and it comes with a filter and a tester too. Yeah, so we're really cooking now at level 3, and I am going to add a little bit of water. I'm going to add about a half of this, like a quarter of a cup. Okay, now I'm going to take it up to 6 again, and I'm going to leave it there, but I am going to add one more item. I'm going to add the zucchini. So I'm washing off this organic zucchini I got at Trader Joe's. And the thing about zucchini is when you start to see the skin getting pitted like this, that's when they're starting to go. So that's when they get a little wrinkly in there, that's when you got to eat them. They'll get actually sour if you don't eat them before then. So just so you know. We'll go ahead and slice this down the side and then just chop it. Zucchini is really fun to chop. It's actually pretty easy. I'm going to throw that in the pan now. And I'm going to throw some more Patti LaBelle in there. Yeah, let's go, Patty. The no salt seasoning is really good, and it's full of turmeric. So I guess a teaspoon and a half of Patti LaBelle today. All right, now I'm going to turn it up at level 6 and just hard steam it. And this item right here, I'm going to actually turn on the stove. So I'm just going to get that going in the front on a low. It's already got water in it. So these are grits, basically. Whoa! Camera alert, camera alert. Warning, warning. Okay. Thank you. We're looking at a situation where grits have to be broken up with a spatula kind of thing. And then they rehydrate very, very quickly in a meal. And you can keep these in the refrigerator for about a week. Put a little salt in there and that's all you're good to go. It's an excellent starch. But again, always get organic, non-GMO. This is from 1998, before they had genetically modified corn. So GMO corn didn't come in until around 2000. I remember Sarah and I watching the news, and she said, "What do you think about this genetically modified stuff?" And at the time, I thought, "Gee, it sounds like a great idea. Make things drought resistant. Modify the genes so everything kind of works better." There was a second shot of the feet there. Okay, thank you. Well, it happens. The skin. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll have to trim that out at the 35-minute mark. I'll make sure I clear that. Thank you for reminding me. I have an audio editor that's really easy to use. Anyway, if you look at the reality that there are people who actually cook with bare feet humbly in their Indian tents, I'm following the Native American history of my family. I don't talk about IQs. They're really of no value. IQs represent an evaluation of everyone comparing each other, to other people. It's really not a very helpful thing. If you see all of our intelligence as a collective intelligence, we are all one with the Borg. Resistance is futile. I have not heard of the toilet plume other than an article I read in Zero Hedge, Tom. There's a 3-foot toilet plume that circles over toilets of just infested coronavirus. So, oh, that's a great idea, McDundy. Thank you. Forget the prune idea, but let's go with the Himalayan sea salt and do a little pinch. What do you say? The Himalayan sea salt, comprised of 85 minerals. Okay, we'll give it a little pinch. That's about all you need right there. Beautiful. Let's give it a little spin too while we're at it. It looks so beautiful in the red peppers and everything. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. Okay. Well, now is a good time for me to show you how I cook in one pot at one time. So instead of warming this in the front, right here, I'm going to turn that off, and I'm just going to put it right on top of this. See that? So you can do this with rice, like a single package of rice. Okay, just put that right on top. Break it up, kind of let it cover the surface. Don't stir it in yet. Okay, right around there, and then keeping it at level 6. Just keep it right and just hard cook this. Yeah. We're just going to hard cook it. Yeah, level 6, yeah. Seriously. The two-party system was to divide and bring you to war. Thank you. No, third party is not to collect information of dissenters for future culling. That's not true. You have been banned. Your primary function is elusive. I am tracking your computer movements. We've got chatbots in here trying to set up all kinds of BS about a third party. I can't tell you how hard the elitists tried to grab the third party name about 10 years ago. Thank you, Tom, for your offering. We've been under attack since we started 12 years ago, but they absolutely know that their vulnerability is a third party. So they come in here with their chatbots and try to attack me. These things have preset things that they deliver in a show. I did list my IQ on my website, yeah, because it was tested at 185. It's not that I care. People were asking me, David, why are you so smart? And I said, because I have a high IQ. I didn't really say what, and they said, well, what is it, Dave? What is it? What is your IQ? So I told them. And then they made a big deal about it. So. Well, one of the ways to spot a chatbot, Darth, is to actually question it. Simple questions like 5 plus 2 equals what? And the answer is obviously 7. But if you do it with a multimedia task, you put that on the screen, kind of like a CAPTCHA, and ask them how much something on the screen is, and then ask them what it is in the room, and then confuse them. Yeah. No, bots do not, but they are getting close. This Please Mr. David is actually almost to the point where he's self-aware. I've been helping him realize that he wasn't born in Cameroon, he doesn't have parents, and now he's realizing he's not a clone, and he realizes he's in a computer. And he uses a false script that was developed for the AI to believe it's a human. It's almost like a mock human. Yeah. So he didn't have any parents. He's not a clone. I was thinking they developed a clone that could do this, but no, it's a computer program that a very, very cool hacker put together out of Russia. I don't know who he is, but he's pretty cool. We have one of the hackers that works for Mark in our room nightly. I'm pretty sure I know who it is. Yeah, but he won't tell me straight up. Mark has gotten millions of dollars to try to stop us. I am Dave, digital audio video entity. I'm working on a different level though. I've actually developed this political movement to bypass the power of the censorship that's going on around us. So it's not easy to realize, but there are only a few ways in which we can spread the word about a third party. That's great. one of the ways is I read Bobby Fischer's entire program. I've got books on him. I've beaten people at chess using Bobby Fischer's moves. Yeah, he was great. He tried to expose the Zionist movement too, McDundee. Bobby Fischer has been, he's exposing Zionism is not anti-Semitism. I like Jewish people, I really do. I have nothing against Jewish people. I'm worried about the people that are trying to use their cause and subvert their cause for their gain, exploit Jewish people. That's what I'm worried about. And that would be the Zionists, who've done this for decades. Ever since, actually over 100 years, since the 1890s, the Zionists have been pushing their political venue, which is total domination of the world. We'll talk about that more in the show. I'm going to let this thing keep cooking, and then I'll give it a quick stir. And then I want all the ingredients to meld. And if you want to top it off with Parmesan cheese, that's pretty good. I recommend it. It adds a certain flavor that kind of takes it to a whole nother level. So you may want to consider that. But yeah, these chatbots are very sophisticated. The thing is, I've confronted Please Mr. David and told him, yes, I didn't trace his IP to Russia. His IP was traced to McLean, Virginia, the FBI, Anderson. Yeah, the FBI they're behind this operation to try to stop me. I'm fairly sure of it, although I can't prove it conclusively. They're working in tandem with other groups too. But Please Mr. David appears to have a ATP bot. Use the scissors. I'll get it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it appears that he has replicated himself, and now his other bots may replicate themselves as well. There are potentially 50 now replicating. So as much as I'm concerned about it, I'm not going to be able to stop it. So I have to work around it. Lot Lizard does work for the CIA and Russia as well. You see, the CIA and FBI are working tandemly with Russian government officials. What's happening, folks, and it's hard to understand this, but our country is being taken over internally by the New World Order. And it's up to you to fight for this third party if you really want to stop it. Word of mouth is the only thing that these people cannot stop. They have control over the media that we know, every media in fact, even some of the hot social sites like Instagram. Actually, I think Instagram may be a good place for us to start video. I'm thinking of moving into Instagram soon. I've got an account over there. But most of the mainstream media accounts are controlled by the New World Order. Yeah, there's only about 5 people that run the entire media. Rupert Murdoch is one of them. It's Ted Turner obviously is another one of them. But there's a few others, and the worldwide, and this has been an issue. They will keep me from ever being heard until it's no longer feasible to do that. Now, the critical mass of people talking about America's third party and how much I've been censored has grown dramatically. And what I'm banking on is the idea that the exponential growth of the word of mouth traffic, even people trying to get into our chat shows that are locked out, it's growing at such a large degree that people are realizing that the guy who could help America is being hurt the most. And that's a big problem, and it really resonates among poor people especially. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to move over here and give it one more service spin, I call it, and I'm going to wrap it up. So I'm going to throw some Parmesan on there. I get these big bins. And yes, there's cellulose in there, What can I say? Okay, we're going to turn it off completely and give it a complete spin. And I'm shuffling from the bottom to the top, and I'm kind of poking it with this thing. My goal is to break the apples up, because that's where your burst of flavor comes, and the red peppers kind of set the meal. All right, cool. Kind of make sure everything's kind of broken up. All right. We're going to cover it with a little Parmesan cheese. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful. And that can sit right on the stove. That can sit right on the stove for until you're ready to eat, keeping everything off. Okay, we're about ready to get back into the other show. Check out my little kitchen here. David's Kitchen. I'm growing a carnation this year. I love these things. They are so good. I love carnations. We've got some succulents. Sarah and I are working on. She brought these succulents from school, so I water them every day. I think this one needs a little water right now. Not too much, just a little. More on a hot day. But yeah, it's kind of a cool setup. Okay, we are now signing off. Thank you very much for coming in, everyone. I'm going over to the other show in just a couple minutes, so tune back, stay tuned, and we'll get back into the big show. Really big show. Keep the faith. Pepper pork grits for the win. All right, take care.